All right. So I am Kathryn Clark Ross, and I'm running for the Indian Hills G.I.D. trustee. I just want to address a little bit of my experience that I have, because I didn't put that on any of my flyers. I worked for 25 years at WNC Western Nevada College. During that time, I was instrumental in creating many funds, raising events, still being held today. At that time that I was working at the college, the state was cutting all budgets. You know, everybody was cutting their budgets. Nobody had any money. So these fundraisers that I started at the college that are still being done today was revenue for the college, like the craft fair that they do. That's quite a bit of money that goes towards the college. 10 years ago, I served on this board. It was 10 years?
Yes, it was 10 years.
For 2 years. During that time, we were able to implement Valley Vista Park, the dog park, the summer kickoff party, the barbecue, and most importantly, pipe into Minden's water that we're still enjoying today. 5 years ago, I was the driving force in the development of North County lunch program that is thriving today, as Denise pointed out. Okay, that's my experience. Now the questions we have to address is the first one, the challenges. I thought about this, and what's been mentioned here, the roads. Obviously the roads has been a constant. But what I see now is they have a good fund, money put away for this, and a good plan that's been developed by the board. So they have a plan that they're going to follow. And so I see that that's already in place. And the other was infrastructure. Being one of the older homes in Indian Hills, over 40 years old, I think our homes are now. Yeah, right? And that's scary, because they're getting older homes, and you know, so you know the sewage and everything is not so good. So that is kind of scary. But since we did the raise on our bill and set up a fund to deal with this, it's not something that I'm really worried about either. But I lost my place. So those are obvious. So the thing that I thought was that I could do possibly as a member of the board, because money is always needed. So if we don't want to have to raise our water rates again, maybe the board could look into alternative funding. So I'd like to see that happen, since I have been a big fundraiser. And check into outsourcing services currently done in-house. Maybe there's a way we can outsource, and what my colleague brought up about doing automatic billing or something. I'd like to see that done. Okay, that's number 2 was the priorities. So my number 1 priority is to look into the expansion needed to accommodate more seniors to the North County Lunch Program. And why? Because we're getting close to our maximum people allowed in this building. So we have to either enlarge, do something, or turn seniors away. That I don't want to see that happen. So that would be my number 1 priority. Number 2, I would like to work with Douglas County to obtain more power. Indian Hills have more power to enforce residents to comply with the code ordinances. This is the main gripe I hear from people a lot, is my neighbor's weeds are growing way up here. It's a fire hazard. There's a motorhomes parked all along the street. Garbage is piled up, and rats is smelling. You know, this is what we hear all the time. But we don't really, we can report it, and then John reports it, and I'd like to say that I think that the starting of the community dump program has been great towards this. It's really made people come up and dump their garbage. But I'd like to see more being done on that. And So that's priorities, my priorities. The last one, do you view yourself as a representative of subdivision or the district as a whole? I have to admit that at the beginning, I did think of myself as we and those people over there and us type thing. And I was guilty of that, you know, and so I supported this side. But there's one thing that my teenagers have taught me is I would have to represent everybody, because I do have people in my group now that live on that side. So I would have to say, I would have to represent them all as a whole. So that's changed for me. All right, I think that's it. Next.